You're watching The World with me, Charles Anyegolu. A senior Hamas official has said that the Palestinian group is no longer interested in ceasefire talks with Israel and urged the international community to stop Israel's hunger war on Gaza. A Hamas spokesman told British media that there was no longer any point in engaging with new proposals. Israel's plan for an expanded military offensive in Gaza comes after the recent collapse in talks on a ceasefire that would return the remaining hostages held by Hamas. The Israeli government hopes to destroy the armed group and bring back the remaining hostages by force. The new comments by Hamas seem meant to counter the idea. The group said there was no point in engaging in talks while all aid to Gaza was blocked. Israel closed crossings to the Strip more than 2 months ago, with aid agencies warning that with no change in policy, mass starvation was imminent. Well, for more on this, I'm joined now in the studio by the Palestinian Middle East analyst Abu Ramzy. Mr. Ramzy, thank you very much indeed for coming in.
Thank you very much.
First of all, what's your reaction to the announcement that Israel plans to expand its military operations in Gaza?
Well, thank you for having me today. My view of what Israel is announcing is continuation of the starving and killing of the Palestinians by hunger. After 66 days of striking against the civilians of Gaza, I will not say any other word except the civilians of Gaza, because the killing every day by the Israeli soldiers, it's to the civilians, it is to the children, it is to old men who are in the tent. They are not targeting Hamas, and they are not targeting any of the brigades, whether Hamas or Jihad or others. They are only targeting civilians. They want the civilians to wake up against the resistance. And after 66 days, the whole world is watching. The Arabs are watching. Shame on everybody. Shame in the United Nations. Shame on all the organizations which they allow the Israelis to still continue starving and killing, massacring the Palestinians, the civilians, which it will be a shame in the history of the world of today.
Sorry, finish your point.
I will finish. Well, we, the Palestinians, we are a nation struggling for survival, struggling for freedom, and we shall get the freedom. Benjamin Netanyahu has spoke to the whole world, to the whole governments, African and neighboring countries, to take the Palestinians out of Gaza. Nobody accepted. And it's not because nobody accepted. The Palestinians will not leave Gaza. They will not leave the homeland. They will still die on that land, and people will come and still fight Israel and get the freedom out of Israel.
Right. Well, let me just come back to the issue that we were talking about, which is military operations expansion in Gaza. The Israeli government says it's expanding those operations because it is necessary to defeat and eradicate Hamas and bring back the hostages. Is it possible for Israel to eradicate Hamas in Gaza?
Hamas, I will tell you, it's an ideology. It is not the soldiers. It's not matter of defeating. Hamas, after 19 months, you have created thousands and millions of Hamas without being Hamas members. Look, you are killing. In the killing, within the killing, you create people to love the resistance and to be sponsoring the resistance and to support the resistance. You are not looking for peace. You are looking for more radicals, Palestinians, to come up and fight you to get the freedom of Palestine.
But Israel says that what it is attempting to do is what Hamas would do to Israel if it could, which is to win the war and defeat the enemy.
Look,
I mean, that's what Hamas would want to do to Israel, isn't it?
Richard.
Charles.
Charles, We Palestinians looking for freedom from the occupation. We have the right internationally. We have the right to fight with everything we could to get our freedom out. We want to leave. We are looking for peace. We are looking for peace. The whole world support the Palestinians by mouth. Egyptian closing border for 18 months, 19 months. Single drop of water, they will not let it in. In the reason, we don't want the Palestinians to get out of their land. You are killing the Palestinians. You are joining the Israelis to kill the Palestinians. But I assure you, we will be out of this war as soon as possible.
But when Hamas attacked Israel on October the 7th, it killed lots of innocent civilians and would have killed more and inflicted greater punishment on Israel if it could. They have said openly, Hamas, that their goal is the complete elimination of Israel, which means killing everyone there. So can you see why Israel is determined to stop Hamas from achieving this aim and feels compelled to win this war?
My dear brother, you are reading the story from the side of the Israelis.
Well, I mean, there are two sides. We had the Israeli ambassador here yesterday.
Okay,
and we told the story.
I didn't watch him.
I can send you the link.
I didn't watch him. If I have watched him, I will have answered you of what he has spoken. I will tell you, since the existence of the state of Israel, Israel committed suicide. Israel committed genocide. Israel committed killing of the Palestinians since 1948 against the Palestinians. Deir Yassin and many of others. Daily, if you look today, Deir al-Balah 48 is killed. Out of the 48, you have 30 are children. Out of 48, every day, you are seeing 50 to 100 are being killed by the Israeli gun machine. Killing out of the people. When Israel occupied Palestine, Deir Yassin, Kufr Qasim, all Sabra Shatila in Lebanon, Israel killed more than 700,000 Palestinians since the existence of this state of Israel in our land. Now, you call it October 7. Gaza under siege of 17 years. 17 years, Israel counting the water entering to Gaza. The gas entering to Gaza, the gas, cooking gas. Israel counted how many enter to Gaza.
Look, I understand all that.
Now,
but is it worth that October the 7th attack? That is what has brought us to where we are
Algeria
now.
Fought France.
No, I understand that.
Yeah, Algeria fought France and lost 1 million.
But would it not have been a much wiser thing to have given that at that point, up to October the 7th, there was not this kind of attack taking place on Gaza? Wouldn't it have been better if you had, at that point, instead of attacking Israel, intensified efforts to reach some kind of settlement with Israel?
I will tell you, Arafat started the peace talk 1991, 1990. And my uncle used to be the Minister of Environment and Water Resources. And he was a member of the talk, peace agreement, through Arafat members. What did we get out of Arafat talk? What did we get from Oslo agreement? Nothing. See West Bank today. Today, Israel wants to destroy 106 houses in the southern part of Palestine. That is in the West Bank. Is Hamas in West Bank? Look, the issue, we have to understand the main issue. There is occupation and there is people fighting for freedom from that occupation.
Yeah, well, you could.
That is the main.
You could make the Israelis say they are fighting on 7 fronts, and that includes the West Bank, because people in the West Bank are also, as a result of what is happening in Gaza, getting
Benjamin Netanyahu is the one fighting to be existing as prime minister of that cabinet. Benjamin Netanyahu does not want to stop the war.
Right.
Even today,
Well, let me ask
Benjamin
you this.
Netanyahu want to attack Iran.
Right.
Why he's attacking Syria every day?
Let me ask you this.
Why he's attacking Syria every day?
Right.
Why is he attacking Lebanon every day?
Let me ask you this. What are you counting on to help the Palestinians stop Israel from escalating this war? Because fellow Arab countries, you mentioned Egypt, they're not going to intervene militarily, nor for that matter will any other country, except perhaps the Houthis in Yemen. So are you counting solely on diplomatic support?
Well,
because militarily you can't really challenge Israel.
This one really, as I started my speech, it's a shame to the whole world of being silent of this killing.
I think a lot of people would agree with you, yes. But that is the fact, though.
Yes, but what the single Palestinian civilian looking at is looking at God. God, at the end, he's going to intervene. But if you look at Saudi government and the visit of Trump today, although Trump is really...
Well, Trump hasn't arrived there yet.
It's really Trump is buying the idea of Israel completely.
Yeah.
And he's behind all the support of Benjamin Netanyahu to exist and to do whatever he wants. Look at when Hamas had spoke with American delegate, they said they will release the Americans and 8 soldiers from the hostages. Benjamin Netanyahu attack where that soldier is. Benjamin Netanyahu doesn't want peace. Benjamin Netanyahu want to continue killing.
Yeah,
he loves the shade of the blood of the Palestinians.
You mentioned Donald Trump.
Yes,
he's expected in the region. I think next week or so.
On 10th, I think.
He said he wants peace. What are you hoping will come out of his visit? Would you like to see him push both sides back to the negotiating table?
The issue is not coming back to negotiating. Look at 66 days, Benjamin Netanyahu and his cabinet. They are killing the Palestinians.
Yeah, but the only person
hunger
who can stop that right now
is Trump.
Beyond the Israelis deciding they're not going to fight anymore,
not
is
only
Donald Trump. Yeah,
not only Trump.
So what I'm asking you is,
the Saudi government can stop this war.
What would you like to see him do?
I want him to stop the war.
Right.
I want him to be a human, feeling and thinking.
Right. The Israeli military expansion in Gaza, Israel has said, excuse me, we had the Israeli ambassador on air yesterday.
I really missed it.
They say that the expansion in Gaza, excuse me, is conditional. That expansion is conditional and will only happen if Hamas refuses to release the hostages and refuses to surrender. Does it seem like Hamas might do either?
No. This expansion and this the new plan of taking more of Gaza land, it will fall like the general's plan fall on the north part of Gaza. If you remember, 100 days siege on the north part of Gaza in Jabalia and Beit Lahia and Beit Hanun, the general's plan also fall. I believe also this Zamir plan will fall. It will fall and it will be destroyed by the patient of the civilians of the Palestinians under all this hunger war.
Let's talk about that hunger war briefly. What's the latest that you're hearing about the humanitarian situation in Gaza? Because that Israeli blockade is continuing to bite.
I will tell you the story of my sister this morning. She said, my brother just pray for us, and she's in the north part of Gaza, in Beit Lahia.
So your family is in Gaza?
Yes. She said one of my sisters is still in the front home. She said the drones are surrounding everybody, and the drones is killing everybody moving, whether you are a child or a civilian or a woman or a man. We don't have food, we don't have anything, we cannot move, we don't know if we can be existing till tomorrow. This is the situation of the hunger in Gaza.
Well, the Israelis say they are coming up with their own way of providing and distributing aid, and that the IDF will likely oversee that process. Is that acceptable to you?
Nobody accepts it.
Right. So you'd rather remain hungry.
We rather remain hungry. We rather remain to fight and let the whole world see us. Let the whole world look. The Palestinians are strong, and they can fight, and they can stand on their right. Tell everybody died.
Children that you're talking about.
Well,
they can't stand.
We have right, and we shall get the right. The right is the freedom of the Palestinians.
Right. Okay. I want to thank you very much indeed. Abu Ramzy is a Palestinian Middle East analyst. Thank you very much indeed.
Welcome. Thank you.